Look, see? I'm not a 12-year-old. Although I do act like one. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Daily Discussion. It's good to be back. If you don't know what this is, well, it's a discussion that we have daily, hopefully. I'm going to try and get one of these out every single day. It's going to be a lot of things to talk about, and hopefully they'll be just a tiny bit shorter, because there's going to be a lot of them. If this is going to become a daily thing, however, I'm going to need your help. Make sure that you give me ideas for topics. Anything will do. If you want me to talk about my fish tanks for 5 minutes, I will. Although I would prefer if we kept it with WoW. Anyway, let's discuss today's topic, and this is actually fairly important to me. Well, it should just be important in general. This is what you should do during a raid's break. By this, I mean the small break you have during a raid, normally once, maybe twice or a few times more in an actual raid. You know, where the raid leader says, right, break for 5 minutes. Normally you get a timer, and then they'll say like, oh, be back at 7:05, something like that, right? Normally it's like 9:05, but you get the point. And they'll say something like that, and then you'll have 5 minutes to do whatever you want, and then you'll get back to raiding. Now this small break is probably one of the most important moments in a raid. And if you handle it correctly, you'll come back with, at best, a refreshed mind, rearing to go, and at worst, just a little bit more patience, especially if things are not going very well. So, most guilds will have at least one break in a raid, depending on how many times a week they actually do raid, how long an individual raid is, and what kind of content they're doing. But whether you're raiding normal mode or you're smashing your head into mythic progression, that short little break is vitally important to your success. So ordinarily you've been raiding for at least an hour when your raid decides to take a break. At least an hour. And during that time you've been sat down and focused on your screen as you raid. Sometimes you may have been doing this for a longer period of time. It could be 2 or even 3 hours before a single break occurs. And think about that. That's 2 or 3 hours you spent just staring at your monitor, just focusing. So the most important thing you can do when you finally get your break is to step away from your computer. Now, I did a bit of the old research for this, and by stepping away, you do several things. First of all, you move your eyes away from your computer screen, which is just good for your eyes. You get a small change of scenery, which can be good for your mind. And most importantly, you stand up. Now, this might sound a bit ridiculous, but standing up is actually really important. Now, as I said, I did some research about this, and I've discovered that when you're actually sitting down, the electrical activity in your muscles drops. Your calorie burning rate lowers, and after about 3 hours of sitting, your arteries will dilate half as much, which basically means that your blood flow decreases. This will actually make you a worse raider because your brain is not getting as much blood as it normally would, and it needs that blood and that oxygen to actually function, which means that your brain isn't working as hard as it could be, which means you're not raiding as well as you could be raiding. And of course, it's also very unhealthy for you. So by actually standing up, you get your muscles working, you increase your blood flow, and it will help counter the fatigue of raiding, because raiding can be fatiguing. It really can be. It might not sound like much, but when you're concentrating that hard for that long, once you finally finish the raid and you step away, you just go, oh, I'm just exhausted, you know? So if you can use that break to help refresh yourself, it will really help. So not only does standing up and moving away from your computer help your brain refocus, as we just discussed, it helps you actually move away from the stress of raiding, because, as I said, raiding can be stressful. And just for a few minutes, it can help you get a fresh perspective on maybe a fight you're struggling on. And it can help you wake up if you're tired, because raids tend to happen in the evening, and it's very easy to just get tired, especially if you've had a very long day. Your body isn't exactly designed to raid, so you need to tell it to wake up after an hour or two of sitting still doing little in terms of physical activity, because think about it. If your body is just sitting in the same position, not really moving, your brain's going to go, oh, well, we're not moving so much. Time to fall asleep. And you don't want to do that. So during this break, you need to tell your brain, hey, oi, we need to stay awake. So getting away from your computer is clearly a good idea. So what can you actually do in those 5 minutes that will help you get back and raid better? You know, what can wake you up? What can get you all revved up and ready to go? Well, here are some of my tips. First of all, number 1, the most obvious one. Tend to your body's needs. A lot of people do this during the raid break. Use the bathroom, get yourself a snack, refresh or pour yourself a drink, and move around to get your muscles working. Just tend to your body's needs, you know? Using the bathroom, getting yourself a snack, refreshing or pouring your drink. Things like that are actually really important, because if you raid while you're hungry or you're thirsty, well, let's just say that when I'm hungry or thirsty, I become somewhat difficult. So if you're also adding on top of that the stress of raiding, you can actually get quite irritable, and you don't want to be irritable while you're raiding. Second of all, clean yourself. This might sound very strange, but something as simple as washing your hands and face will help you refresh yourself and wake you up. If you're not going to be eating before you go to bed, clean your teeth. This really helps me feel clean, and if you feel clean, you're going to be feeling happier. Because if you feel all mucky and icky and you haven't stood up and you've got crumbs of your dinner on your shirt and all that, it's just not a good feeling. And just standing up, moving around, washing yourself, it just helps so much. Just give it a shot, that's what I say. Just clean your face and your hands. Bit of soap. It's really simple. You can do it right after you use the bathroom. It helps so much. Number 3, spend time with someone. I know you don't have much time during a raid break, but if you have a partner or a roommate, talk to them for just a minute or so. Just say, this raid's going well, if they know what that actually means, or just strike up a conversation. Say, I've got about a minute, let's have a conversation about something, Just talk to them. Interacting with someone who hasn't had their head in the raiding mindset for the last couple of hours will really help you unwind, especially if you're stressed out. And as I keep saying, raiding can be stressful, so just talk to someone. Just talk to them and be like, yeah, it's going well. It reminds you that raiding isn't everything. And it can really help you. Number 4, stretch and move your body around. Now, I'm not an aerobics instructor, but stretching your legs and arms while you're stood up will help you. I'm not sure of the science behind it, and I won't say something I'm not sure is true, but from my experience, I can safely say that moving your body around and using your muscles will help you wake up. It'll help you focus your mind and improve your mood. Those are good things, especially for raiding. All I do is I just pace. I just pace back and forth. And then occasionally I might, stretch my legs a bit or my arms. Just get your body moving, get the blood flowing. It will help you wake up. It will help you focus, and it will make you happier. That's great. That's good for raiding. And finally, number 5, find a way to relax yourself. No, not that, you cretins. In fact, you might want to save that for after the raid, because it will actually reduce your heart rate and make you even more sleepy. No, I mean things like spending a couple of minutes outside, talking to someone, cleaning yourself, using the bathroom, getting a snack. Those kinds of things will help you relax. And relaxing is very important during raids, especially when you reach a break and you've been raiding for quite a while. Just step away from the constant raiding, get a little bit of a change of scenery, look away from your computer screen, just relax. Just take a deep breath and relax. Because it's super important that you do that. Then you can come back to your raid feeling great. Well, maybe not great, just feeling better. That's all you need to do is feel better. And then you can come back and you can be like, right, I'm ready to continue this progress. I'm ready to continue wiping, because wiping isn't fun. So you need to find a way to relax during it. And by doing that, by finding a way to relax during that break, you'll come back and you'll be rearing to go, which is great. So those are some of my tips, but if you have any of your own, let me know in the comments and I'll put them up as annotations. Any that I think are really good, I'll put up there and it will help anyone that watches this video. That's pretty much all I have to say about breaks. I mean, they're super important and you need to take advantage of them, because if you don't use them as an opportunity to relax and refresh yourself, you're just going to be stressed out. And if you're stressed out, you're going to be irritable and you're going to have arguments with people and you're not going to enjoy yourself. It's not going to be fun. And at the end of the day, isn't fun what this game is all about? Isn't that what raiding is about? Having fun? So that concludes this episode of the Daily Discussion. Before we conclude, though, let's have a piece of music from, actually, Hearthstone, I think. Since the Blackrock Mountain expansion has just recently released, let's have a bit of music from it. This is called Battle 2, which sounds boring, but actually it's really, really good. I really like this piece of music. It really feels like you're kind of delving into Blackrock Mountain, and you've got that kind of deep and dark, kind of sinister undertone with the kind of lightheartedness of Hearthstone thrown in at the same time. I mean, the people that do this music are just phenomenal. World of Warcraft and really all of Blizzard's music has just gotten better and better since the beginning, and I hope it continues to get better. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you found it helpful. Make sure you let me know in the comments what topics you'd like me to discuss on this show, because I'm gonna need a lot of topics. And as always, I offer my heartfelt thanks to my patrons who make things like this possible, with thanks today going to Cody Wyatt. Thank you very much, my friend, and thank you very much for watching, and I wish you the best of luck with your gaming endeavors.